Hey, it's Katie.
Hi, Katie. It's Mom. You ready to pod?
I'm ready. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Welcome to the Sunday Self.
Hi. Welcome to the Sunday Self.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you for pushing play today.
We're glad you joined us.
Yeah. And today our episode, it's going to piggyback a little bit off of last week.
A little bit.
Yeah, because it was Mother's Day. So if you didn't listen to that, it's there.
Yeah.
But I know Mother's Day for a lot of people is a confusing day. If you're grieving your mother, especially. So today we decided to talk about
Grief. Yeah.
Which is a heavy word.
It is. That's what I said when we even just said the word out loud. I'm like, God, that word holds so much power.
It does.
And it's such a heavy word.
Yeah.
Everyone experiences it at some point in their lives, whether it's with the loss of a loved one.
Totally.
Relationships.
Could be an idea of yourself.
Or
like something that could have been an opportunity that fell through.
Yeah, there's different types of
grief.
loss and grief that you feel. Mainly we're going to be talking about a grief that comes along with the loss of a loved one.
Yes.
And I think we're going to speak from experience and things that we've heard and things that we've read along the way. And you tend to look into the subject more when you are going through it, right? Like, I noticed that when I was going through it, all of a sudden it seemed like more people were talking about grief. And it's because I sought it. Right. I sought it out.
Yeah.
And I remember Anderson Cooper came out with his podcast about grief. And
at that time?
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
And it
makes you feel less alone.
It did.
Yeah.
And he's such a wonderful personality.
I love hearing his voice.
I love hearing his voice. And I really admire all the work that he's done throughout the years with his reporting.
Yeah.
And to hear him sob, telling the story about losing his father, his brother, and then his mom. It kind of like, in a weird way, like it validated my feeling of like not being able to get through a sentence without sobbing.
Totally. Because everyone goes through it, and I think we forget about that. Because it is very lonely. Because there's this whole thing of like, there's never the right thing to say.
Correct.
And there's nothing that someone could say to you that would make you feel better.
Right.
But yet we all hope that there is.
Right.
So, yes, hearing someone else talk about it, it makes everyone feel a little bit more human, I think.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
So.
And it's weird that we all carry a little bit of guilt with us about grieving. And you had talked about this because society puts a timeline on it. And traditionally, we don't really talk about loss in a way.
No.
And it's one of those emotions that we deal with quietly and alone a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that because every other emotion...
you're happy, excited.
Right.
Yeah, you want to tell everyone.
Even anger is acceptable.
How many pissed off people do you see just like walking around all the time?
Yes.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, it's those videos of angry people that go viral.
Road rage, like...
Yeah.
There's...
So like we've almost...
Why not the sadness?
Right, like we've given acceptance to the anger, but we don't give acceptance to the grief. Or we don't want to... Like, we feel uncomfortable with it or watching someone go through grief in a way.
I was crying in the car a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was, like, at a stoplight. And I was like, oh, is this weird? And I was like, no, it's not weird.
It's not.
And I just kept crying. I don't think anyone cared.
It's an emotion.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah. But it is. It's an emotion.
Yeah, you're allowed to show it. You don't need to hide it just because people, it's silly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think we need to normalize the fact that we feel sad and again, like you said, people reach out and they're not really sure what to say. And of course, as the person that's going through it, you say thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expects to wipe away your grief.
No. I mean, everyone wishes there was some way that they could wipe away your grief. Yes. Yeah. But there's no one saying anything knowing that it will.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to say this more than once today, but remember that the grief is a form of love.
Oh,
because
that's a beautiful way of looking at it.
Right. I mean, if you weren't grieving, It means you never really loved someone,
Yeah.
right? And this is like...
And still love.
And still love. The love never ends.
And the love never ends.
Right.
And I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, like when we were just chatting about the topic, but sometimes it turns into numbness, and that can be scary because it's like, okay, I have no emotions left.
Yeah.
But if you are feeling the numbness because of grief, that just means there's still actually love. So you're not numb. You're just mourning.
Because
love.
there's a lot of stages that you go through.
Yeah.
You go
Oh,
through
yeah.
the
There's like
anger.
7
You go,
stages or something.
there's
I
7
don't know.
stages. Yeah, we should have probably
We
looked
should have
up
looked
those 7 stages.
That's like a whole thing.
But yeah, there's definitely
There's
different.
denial.
Yeah.
There's anger.
Yeah, anger for sure.
definitely.
Guilt, I think, goes
Yeah.
through it. I think especially when you are, if you lose someone and you were in any way a caregiver of that person, I still sit with guilt.
Yeah, but you can't.
I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
And this is, I actually did go to therapy for this because the guilt was so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I know I did, well, I don't know I did, but people have told me that I did everything I could possibly do. In my head and my heart, I don't think there was ever enough I could have done. And so that guilt sits with me, and that's a hard one to get rid of.
Yeah.
So I think guilt is probably one of the 7 stages, I would think.
It definitely is.
Yeah, it's definitely with one of my 7 stages. But yeah, so...
Even with pets, like Binks too, I feel guilt all the
sure.
time because I had to like pull the trigger on him. Like,
you didn't pull the trigger.
pull the trigger. Sorry, everyone.
You're not like what was that crazy woman?
Wait,
What was the one? She was
Carol
Homeland.
Baskin?
No, the Homeland Security.
Oh my
girl.
God, yes, and she shot her dog. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You're not her.
I'm not her.
You're not.
No,
her.
I meant like at the vet, like they had to inject. Like you had to make the decision.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
that.
Just want to make that clear.
Good catch, Mom. This is why we need to have like 2
You're right.
people.
We
in
do
the
it
pod.
together. We do it together.
But yeah, no, you hold guilt and you hold a lot of maybe like you're going back and you're crawling for more memories or you are pushing memories. So there's a lot of stages and it's very complicated.
and I think you replay scenarios in your head over and over, and you think about how could I have redone something with, like we talked about this before in one of our other episodes, and it's again that control the uncontrollable. It's like you can't change the past.
No,
we know this.
Yeah,
and for some reason, I think that especially when there's guilt and grief mixed together, it's really hard not to replay scenarios and try to figure out, okay, what if I would have done it? And again, if I came up with the best solution today, it wouldn't have helped what happened, 4 years ago.
Same thing if you're grieving like a missed opportunity or like life didn't go as planned, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You could have taken, if there's a fork in the road, which way will you go? If you picked right, you can always go back and be like, oh, what would have happened if I did left? Would have been different. You don't know and you can't control it.
Right,
So,
right, exactly.
You're
on that path, and in that scenario, remember that you are in the driver's seat. Even if things are happening around you that you didn't expect, pivot and try to
control your controllables.
control. Right, exactly, yeah. So one of the other things we talked about with the loss of a loved one is the void or the hole that they leave, and the dealing with grief when you're supposed to be happy.
Totally.
Right?
Which you brought up a really great,
What happened?
well,
Oh, you okay?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I paused.
Oh.
So,
You're okay.
okay.
Katie's also our engineer.
I am. I don't know why the sound paused. I hope that it's still working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, when you got married last summer, almost a year ago.
Crazy.
It was such a happy day.
Too. Even wedding dress shopping too. That was such a weird
Yes,
one.
and we
Yeah.
never even said that.
No. And that was like the first part of and that's when I think it hit me. I was like, oh wait, this whole experience is now going to feel a little bit weird because my mom's not here. And then the wedding day, I know you said you lost it.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. When I started seeing people walk through the door, and I was like, oh, they're not here.
They're not walking through the door.
They're not here. And we did like a little memory area for them, but it just wasn't the same. So like that whole day, even though I was really happy for Kate and Charlie and seeing all my family and, my aunts and my uncles really stepped up to be surrogate parents, and they did that throughout all my grieving. there was still always that underlying, them not being there. And they were such a big part of her life. Everybody did.
Yeah.
I mean, they all came up to me and they're like, oh, your mom and dad would be so proud. And so grieving while you're supposed to be happy, again, is a sign of love.
Love, yeah.
Right. And there's no wrong way to do it, and there's no right way to do it.
Correct. It's not one shoe fits all.
No, you just kind of have to roll with your emotions, and I'm glad I didn't try to push them down.
Yeah.
I'm glad it kind of bubbled up and came out. I got it, and I cried.
I feel like that's the best way to handle it, is like you have a little moment, even random, on like a Tuesday, where you just have to cry for a little bit, and you wipe your tears, and you go about your day. And sometimes you really just need to like cry it out.
Yeah.
And you said something, I don't know if you said it earlier just now on the pod, I think you kind of touched on it, but like the timeline piece of it, but like I think instead of going to someone and saying, okay, let's get you outside, or like, time will pass, whatever those things that people say to you when you're mourning, I think a good thing to do is to just say, I'm going to sit with you. Because it does feel like grief, like there's a train going by and you're just standing still and life is moving around you. So in those moments, the most comforting thing is to just sit.
Right. Yeah. Don't push your friend to go out and do something to say like, this will take your mind off of it.
Or try to like give them fluff answers, like generic ones.
Yeah.
Just sit still with them.
One thing you said when we were talking about the timeline in society, Katie reminded me that when my mom and dad passed, her work gave her 2 days.
Yeah, and it was interesting too, because it was like when you reached out to HR for the bereavement, it was, okay, what type of family member was it? Like if it's a parent, you get a week. If it was a obviously first grandparent, then you get 2 days. If it was an aunt and uncle, I think it was like a day. Like it was like, or a sibling, it was like, and I was like, oh my God, like you can't put a number on it. Like I understand for HR, you need to have like, yes, a timeline of like when you're expected to come back, but 2 days is crazy.
Right.
And like to say then, okay, if it's this, like, the parent is more. What if that grandparent was actually your parent?
Yeah.
And you get 2 days to grieve them?
Yeah.
That's not right. And then you have to go back to work and be like, okay, I'm back, and act normal. It's hard.
Yeah.
And no one's expecting you to be perfect, too. I think that's another thing. If you're going through grief and you do have to jump back into work.
Right.
Then just know that you are allowed to, like, I had some person I was doing lease, and they were so rude, and I would just start crying. And I was like, my mom just died. And I was like, and I hope you feel like an asshole, because you're just so rude to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be human.
Yeah.
I'm sure that person has lost someone.
Yeah.
And they know what it's like.
Yeah.
And again, so many people can walk around angry. You can walk around upset in the beginning. You're allowed.
Yeah. It's tough to get back out there when you don't feel like being
it feels impossible.
Out and about in the world. You kind of just want to still be like curled up in bed, or
Well, then it's the fear of like, am I moving on too fast? Is this normal? I think you always want to think like, okay, is this a normal timeline? But there's no
no normal.
Yeah.
Like I think, and everybody I think describes grief this way now. It's waves.
Yeah.
You could be like paddling along, feeling like, okay, I think my grief is like,
got it under control.
Whoosh, a wave hits you, and it's like you're back down to ground zero and paddling again and trying to get through it, and that happens all the time. I mean, my mom's been gone for what, like
I can't even
5
think
years?
of like how long.
I think it's
like,
5 years.
I don't like thinking of how long.
And I'm still
same.
Yeah, I still have moments where I tear up, and it's definitely better as far as like now I'm able to have full conversations about stories with her and laugh about it and enjoy the memories. Right. Last Christmas.
Oh yeah, holidays are always
that was really hard.
Difficult.
But I thought I always write letters to my kids every holiday.
Yeah.
And put them in their little stocking.
So cute.
And I thought, I'm gonna do that with mom and dad.
Love that.
So I did.
Oh, why didn't I do that? You didn't share this with
Well, because I was crying. Okay. And I was like, I don't want to make everybody be like, okay. So, but yeah, and actually it's nice. So it's just sitting there, and I'll take it out every year. But everybody can add to it if they want. And it was just right, but it was just a way to honor their memory on the holiday, and I think that that's a a good thing maybe to do once you're in that place where you
Oh
can.
my God, wait, we came up with, to honor my mom, your mom, our pink day. Because her
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
color was pink. And we're going to do it ideally on her birthday, if we have to do it the weekend of, whatever. But basically just like do her favorite things. Like we're going to get Chinese food.
Right.
We're going to, what else?
We're gonna shop.
We're going to shop.
Because
We
she
might
loves
go
to
get
shop.
acrylic nails.
We'll definitely go get our
We're gonna
nails
get a perm.
done. No, we're not doing the perm. But we'll get our nails done.
Should we wear blonde wigs?
We totally should wear
Like,
blonde
you know,
wigs.
people, there's that festival that happens where everyone dresses up like that
Yeah, like
actress.
Mrs. Roper.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can do that, but dress up like Mama.
Love that
We'll
idea.
do pink. That should have got that pink thing at the thrift store.
You totally should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, these are, like, fun things you can do.
Yeah.
Because now, like, we get excited and think about it. So we don't want to sit and cry. I
Right.
think in the beginning, if you just mentioned, you know,
Oh, we would just break down.
cry, we wouldn't talk.
Right.
But when you find a way to frame it to, like, shift your mind
Right.
to be, like, a celebration of life.
Yes.
Rather than the loss of.
Yes.
It makes it feel, and it's also like, okay, every single year you know that like there's a day coming up for that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I think
I love that
that's
advice. Yeah.
and it's fun to like laugh about those types of
And then you
things
think
now.
too of like, okay, what were all their favorite things? Like there might be
It's great.
like, when I think of mom, I'm not always thinking like, what did she like? I'm not thinking about those types of things.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a nice way to remember them in different ways that you normally would if you're just typically grieving.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, so the other day my brother sent me a voicemail
Yes.
that he found of my mom, and it was funny because she was leaving him a message on his voicemail. But while she was leaving him a message, I had called on another phone. So you hear her speaking to me as well. And her first thing she said, this is when she was starting to get a little wonky with her
Yeah.
brain, but she's like, "Who's this?" And I can hear myself going, "It's your daughter." and then we went on to have like what sounded like a 35-minute conversation, but then it kind of it faded out the voices. But I was so excited to get that, just to hear her voice, and I was just like, God, I wish it went on longer.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is nice when you finally do reach that point of being able to celebrate that person and remember them. And even if you do get teary, that's fine. That's great. But it's really great to be able to enjoy the memories and smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you can find a way that makes it good for you. Like if talking out loud to the person that's gone makes you feel good, do it.
Do it.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like all the time. Like
like
I'll
you
walk by
probably
her
do it all the
picture
time.
and say things.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah. It's good though.
it's good. It makes me
Yeah.
feel fine. I don't care what people think.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
So, yeah.
I have that picture that they both painted in my living room.
Yes.
And I always look at it and I go like, guys, like when I was like for the house, I was like, you guys, you got it? We're good?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's comforting too. And it also is shifted into looking as like guardian angels, whatever you believe in.
Right.
I'm not a religious person by any means, but
Right.
I do look at it as like, you know, I have my guardian angels, like people that are always working to make sure I'm going on the right path and that protected by love and light. Like I have that now on my side. You know,
Yeah.
that's comforting too, because it also is a reminder that they're always with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grief is, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It is.
We should have looked at more studies.
we probably should have looked at more studies, but I think, you know, this is an honest conversation of what we went through.
Yeah. And continue to go through.
and
'Cause it never
continue to
goes
go through.
away.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
Yeah.
I think that's part of accepting grief.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
to know you're not going to get, there's no like beginning, middle, or end.
Correct.
You're just, you grow around it. It grows around you. It becomes a part of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And forgive yourself for maybe the anger or an outburst that you might have made, especially if you were a caregiver, because that's a tough job. And my heart goes out to anyone right now who is in the midst of caregiving and grieving somebody who is probably still with them, but they're caring for them and they're not the same person that maybe,
Yeah.
you know, they were previously before getting sick. And I know so many people are dealing with aging parents that are affected by Alzheimer's, dementia. And again, my heart goes out to you because that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And it is a long process, and it
looks different.
It looks different for
Yeah.
everybody. It's a really tough process. Not everyone is lucky enough to be able to afford help. And even if it's for a day, and if you're in it day in and day out without any kind of, you know, respite, it's tough.
Yeah.
So remember to take care of yourself.
Totally. Oh,
And
grief, it stores inside of
it
you.
definitely
It's not
stores.
just in your mind. It really is a full body. Like you said, you've seen people too in yoga start crying. Yeah. So like in the hips, they always say grief is held. So
Your
if you don't-
headaches.
your
Yeah,
headaches,
like-
fatigue. So if you don't have time to go do a yoga class before you get into bed, move your hips a little bit.
Yeah, just move around
Shake,
and-
literally
and-
shake your body
Yeah.
too. Like it stores in you. So
Because
take care
we
of
always say,
yourself.
like, you're really not your best self
Yeah.
unless you're taking care of yourself,
Yeah,
right?
or you
like
can't take care of anyone
you
unless you
can't,
take care of
it's
yourself.
really hard
Yeah.
to take care of other people day in and day out unless you're taking care of yourself too. And I know it becomes really hard.
Yeah.
But that's something that unfortunately so many people deal with because we haven't found a cure for that.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one.
It
so
is.
we kind of went through that with my dad, and it was really like, it felt like
hard.
a lonely world to be in.
Yeah, and it was long too. I think like he suffered with it for
A couple of years.
yeah, and that was really hard because it's one of those situations where the person is there but they're not there.
Yeah.
You said that something you would do is you would when you would sit with him, bring like a notepad and just journal like what you were seeing, you know, what you were thinking. And that keeps you busy and it also keeps you present.
Yeah.
I think too, because I think if you are sitting in front of someone, it's hard to register. You can be easy to start being like looking at the clock, like, all right, how long have I been here? So it's a good way to keep yourself grounded. I think,
Yeah.
in those
Oh, definitely.
situations, because that's important too.
And it's if you know somebody that's going through this, that's caregiving
There's
and sitting
support
with somebody,
groups, too,
you
could
find a
find.
support. I wish
Yeah.
I did go to one support group meeting.
Yeah,
But
you find what's right for you.
you have to find what's right for
Yeah.
you. But I will say that I know it's really hard if you know somebody that's going through it and you don't know what to do. I will say, looking back on it, it was the most helpful of days were the days that my aunts and uncles visited,
Family.
because they took the burden off of me trying to make conversation with my
Yeah.
dad, who wasn't making conversation
Yeah.
back. So I was, at least they were there with me, and we talked and we laughed, and it just felt like they always reminded me that I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best thing you can
People
do for
to stand
somebody.
still with you.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that is a good takeaway from this episode.
I think that's
you're
the most-
grieving, or you know someone who is. Stand
Yeah.
still with them, or
Just-
find someone to stand still with you.
Yeah. So check in with those folks that are being caregivers, because that's the most important thing. My family checking in with me
Yeah.
saved me.
It's important.
Yeah.
It also
all the
holds
time.
witness too.
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of the times people don't necessarily feel like maybe they don't understand how bad it is or what I'm
Right.
going through, and it's nice to have someone witness exactly what it is that you're enduring every single day, and then to check in on you maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What else do we want to touch on with this?
I'm not sure. I guess what would you tell someone who is wondering if it will ever go away? Like how to...
I don't think grief ever goes away. I think grief becomes part of you. It changes you for sure.
Does it get easier?
It definitely gets easier. But again, it's something that you live with, and it's something that now is part of you. I think you understand it now. If you see somebody else go through it, I always say that, like, whenever you go through something, it always makes you a more empathetic person, because now you can understand what another person might be going through.
Yeah.
I think that it maybe makes you a little bit stronger, but
I was
also
gonna
makes
say
you
no,
more
because-
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, I think it awakened me to my own mortality.
Yeah.
And made me look at life a little differently, which
yeah.
is really, I know.
Not gonna cry in the pot.
Yeah, but that's a tough one when you start thinking in those lines. But it
Yeah.
changes your perspective on life and maybe how you want to live it and how you see your future. And I think it changes what you put importance on. I've always put my family first, but it even really just anchored that feeling with me. Like, these are the most important people in my life, and that will always be the case. And that's who I really want to enjoy my life with.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that I don't do anymore because I'm like, that didn't bring me joy. And I kind of woke up to that feeling like, why do those things anymore?
Totally.
Because life isn't forever.
Yeah.
You know, we have a certain amount of time here, and I think that wakes you up to that.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's another episode we could do too.
For sure.
Like, when you feel like you should be enjoying life so much that you start to get like, oh my God, am I enjoying this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm like that.
No, I feel like I'm like that.
Maybe.
Why are you laughing?
Oh, you are a little bit like that. You do question. You do question like, isn't every day supposed to be more fun?
Yes.
Right.
Which goes back to what you just said of like,
Right.
that's how you should. So then I'm like, wait.
Okay, but I know realistically every day is not going to be a party.
Suddenly.
Right?
Should be.
I
Could be.
think
Oh
what
my
we
God,
talked about
the
before.
sprinkle trend.
What?
So off topic.
Okay.
But this girl, she carries around sparkles or like glitter or like
you know I hate glitter, but go
okay,
ahead.
maybe like edible glitter then, like literally like sprinkles to
Okay.
her food, and she puts it like in her iced coffee if she has like a rosé because it adds a little bit more glimmer into her everyday life.
Okay, and you're
So-
sure it's edible?
Yeah, it's literally you go to the grocery store like you put on ice cream like sprinkles.
Oh, Jimmy's. I know people call them sprinkles.
But yeah,
Okay.
you just put them everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Glimmer, make every day
Glimmer.
a party.
Yeah. All right. So do something
Exactly,
like that.
yes.
That's fine. Roasted chicken. Add a little glimmer. Oh my God.
Maybe not that. Maybe like
I could probably be excused from cooking for a whole week if I started adding glimmer.
Well, like, this is how I cook now.
This is how I cook now. We're all gonna sparkle.
Yeah, maybe not. All right, well, you get the gist. Iced
Yeah.
coffees, matcha.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that I think we always need to be reminded to always give ourselves some grace
Yeah.
and not feel guilty and not feel pressure to get over something when you're not ready. Everybody works on their own timeline.
Be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself. Yeah, I think that's the underlying message.
Great. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you for watching, listening.
Listening and watching. Yes. Yeah.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything. I don't know if we hit all the topics that we wanted to. Let me just double check because I don't think we missed anything major that we wanted to say.
I think we covered everything.
I think we did. I know sometimes Katie writes these wonderful little lines, and I want to make sure that we said that.
Yeah. I do also want to say I don't think we said it when we were actually recording, but I feel like recently I feel like a lot more people are actually openly talking about grief.
Oh gosh,
and acknowledging it. Mm-hmm. I noticed that this Mother's Day specifically, there was 2 restaurants local to me where they had put out buckets of flowers that said if today is hard for you and you're grieving, please take a flower on us. And they were giving out flowers. I saw 2 like literally next to in my town.
That is so nice.
But like I feel like a lot more places are doing that. And 5 years ago, I don't think that was a thing, like at all.
No.
So
no,
I'm happy that we're moving in that direction.
Yeah, I said that. Like I really do feel like
a lot more of society.
I'm hearing more
Not
and
just
more.
because you're digging it up too. I think people are,
waking up to the fact that grief is an emotion,
especially
and
on those days. Like I don't understand why that wasn't always a thing for like a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, or I know they always say like if the holidays are lonely for you, but like I think the flower thing was really nice.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you are out there grieving, I hope you are able to take a moment and remember your loved one with a smile on your face, and you're able to do something to honor their memory, maybe start a new tradition.
Yeah. Have your own version of like a pink day.
Yeah, exactly. If you are a caregiver out there, stay strong.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Reach out for any kind of support that you can, because it can be a very lonely time. There are so many resources out there depending on what kind of caregiving you're doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think enough, but that's a problem for another day.
Totally.
But there are resources out there. So yeah.
We're here with you, and we hope you have a great week ahead.
And if you have any comments or suggestions on what you do to get through this, send them our way.
Send us any traditions that you have to hold memory of those that you've lost. We'd love to know what you all do. But thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for
watching.
listening. Go out and shine bright.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.